Ancient Rome, a civilization of monumental significance, thrived for over 1,000 years, profoundly influencing the modern world. This empire led foundational elements of today's society, including the principles of democracy, a legal system rooted in court proceedings, the genesis of Latin-based languages and alphabets, and even the tradition of three-course meals. Rome pioneered in transcending the limitations of an agrarian society, adapting early forms of banking, credit systems, taxation, and even experiencing financial crises similar to today's economies. Despite its long history, spanning over 1,000 years with numerous rulers and shifting capitals, Rome was not the ultimate empire. In today's we are going to explore the Rome's economy. In the early days of the Roman Empire, the nation was a modest territory on the Italian peninsula, with its heart in what would later become the city of Rome. Due to its limited size and lack of alternatives, Rome relied on taxing the wealth of its citizens, primarily landowners, for revenue. A wealth tax was particularly suitable for Roman society, where the concept of a regular job didn't exist. People didn't have fixed-hour jobs with regular annual incomes, so imposing income tax was useless. A wealth tax was not only simpler to implement, but also more difficult to evade. If citizens wanted the Roman government to recognize and protect their property rights, they had to declare their assets and pay the corresponding taxes. Interestingly, wealth tax determines one's social status. But as Rome transitioned from a kingdom to a vast empire encompassing much of Europe, the wealth tax system that worked well on a smaller scale faced challenges. Much of the empire's territory consisted of conquered lands, and the people living there, often those conquered, didn't view paying taxes to Rome positively. After all, their taxes funded the same military that had conquered them. To solve this, Rome divided its conquered land into territories, each with a semi-independent government responsible for local administration. These local governments were collecting taxes, a portion of which was then sent back to Rome. However, effectively gathering these taxes was a complex issue. The Roman nobility, who were responsible for overseeing tax collection, were significantly less than the populations of the conquered regions. This imbalance made tax collection challenging. The Romans further evolved and adopted a unique approach to tax collection in their empire. They would first determine the amount of tax they'd wanted from each region. Later, they would auction off the tax collection rights for that region. The highest bidder or contractor would pay the Roman government the agreed amount up front. After that, it was up to the contractor to collect taxes from those in that region to recoup their investment. These tax collectors had to adhere to certain rules about what could be taxed. However, they often brought their enforcement teams to ensure tax collection, eliminating the need for the Roman army to step in. Despite its ingenuity, this system could have been better. The decision to privatize tax collection by outsourcing it led to widespread corruption. However, this didn't overly concern the policymakers in Rome. Their primary focus was on receiving the funds up front, which was crucial for maintaining their grand cities and keeping their formidable army operational. This financial strategy enabled them to sustain and expand their regional influence. Throughout history, the central Roman government often saw its control over various regions as a win-win situation. However, despite its power and advanced economy, Rome wasn't as wealthy as many people think. It's important to note that other civilizations like China and India were wealthier during Rome's peak. Most people in the Roman Empire worked in agriculture to feed the growing population. However, China and India were wealthier because they had better farmland and larger populations. It might be surprising to understand that in today's economy, the wealth of a nation is dependent on farmland. Rome was located on a peninsula known for its poor soil quality. While trade helped somewhat, the total yearly GDP of ancient Rome at its peak was only about $32 billion in today's money. This means that Rome's GDP per person was around $527, making it poorer than any country today. Rome had a sophisticated banking system for its era, which helped finance wars and construction projects. Romans could safely store their money in banks instead of hiding it at home. However, this system may have contributed to one of history's earliest economic crises. Economic crises often occur when a society accumulates too much debt and an unexpected event exacerbates the situation. Initially, Rome didn't depend heavily on debt, but as banking expanded, so did debt levels. The Roman market was bustling with traders and banks. Banks would lend out deposited money, hoping to earn interest and return it before too many people withdrew their funds. This approach was risky, but banks believed it would work if they kept some cash available, assuming most people wouldn't withdraw their deposits. This strategy worked until around 33 AD when several issues hit the empire hard. Under Emperor Tiberius, one of Rome's more effective leaders, the empire faced various challenges, including natural agriculture disasters, unrest in the colonies, and the sinking of 3 gold-laden ships in the Red Sea, causing significant financial damage. The crisis began with falling land prices in Italy. Tiberius responded by ordering senators to invest a third of their wealth in land within 8 months, leading to massive bank withdrawals. However, the banks had either invested in risky ventures or lost funds in shipwrecks, leaving them short of cash when senators withdrew their money. This triggered a banking crisis, exacerbated when banks demanded immediate loan repayments. Tiberius's solution resembled modern-day quantitative easing. He injected 100 million sesterces, around $2 billion today, from the Roman treasury into the banks, a significant amount given the total economy was about $30 billion. This policy meant safer lending practices and required banks to maintain cash reserves, similar to today's reserve requirements. Increasing money circulation made people less inclined to hoard cash or sell assets at low prices. They could access interest-free loans if necessary. In this way, the Roman government functioned like a central bank, employing a strategy similar to modern finance. The economic history of ancient Rome, an empire that lasted 1,000 years, is frequently overlooked amidst its rich and diverse past. But understanding Rome's economic systems and policies is more crucial for comprehending the empire's history than these more glamorous aspects. That's all for today's video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And to get more videos based on history and economies, make sure to subscribe to our channel.